human rights abuses, calls of a boycott, debate on foreign policy. Let the games begin. This is The Noble Truth. G'day and welcome to The Noble Truth, April 2008. Now, what did I think was the big event in April? Tell you what it wasn't. It wasn't our Prime Minister Kevin Rudd's 2020 summit. I was incredibly offended I was not invited to the said summit. Now, I know you had to apply for an invitation, and I did not apply for an invitation, but I just assumed that my application was assumed. Come on, I practically handed Kevin Rudd the election last year by endorsing him on The Noble Truth right before the election. So, sorry, I'm just not going to cover the 2020 summit. Now, the other day, I was looking at my stamp collection for the Sydney 2000 Olympic Games. This is my favourite one. It's of Michael Diamond, who won the gold medal for shooting. There's no better sport than shooting, and there's nothing more Australian than shooting. So good on you, Michael Diamond, for 2000. But it made me think of this year's upcoming Olympic Games. It's been marred in controversy, and the big event in April is that the Olympic torch came to Australia, namely Canberra. Kevin Rudd just happened not to be in Canberra on that day to welcome the torch. But it's been a very controversial Games. There's been talks of boycotts, human rights abuses, yada yada yada. Now, it's a very complex issue, obviously, so I thought that it was, before I address the issue, it was probably good to do a bit of research. Hello, I was wondering whether I could buy some Chinese food. Okay, so I got my Chinese food. Let's get that one right. There will be that. So now I am entirely qualified to talk about the Tibetan situation. Now, some Dalai Lama is apparently claiming human rights abuses are going on in Tibet and they should cease to be going on. And he's using the Olympic year where all eyes are going to be on China to push his political agenda. Now, I've always believed the Olympics are above politics. The Olympic Games is about nations from all over the world coming together and pretending they like each other. There's so much of the year is filled with bad news stories. You've got wars, you've got famines, you've got hunger. At the Olympics, we can pretend that the world is a perfect place where everyone can come together and just play some games. We don't want to be thinking about high-minded political human rights abuses. The Dalai Lama and the Tibetans are putting pressure on the great escapism and the sort of global community of the Olympic Games not happening. Just because human rights abuses are taking place. Look Tibet, the IOC knew human rights abuses were going on when they gave China the Olympic Games. It obviously wasn't a concern for them, and therefore shouldn't be a concern for us. It's about handing out medals and countries giving each other a pat on the back. It's not about making this world a better place. Now, I'm sorry, in some ways, that's the right idea. In America, when there is someone that needs to get pushed around by the government a little because they're dissenting in a time of terror, or they actually pose a terrorist threat, America needs to, because they've got legal rights and habeas corpus and all that, ship them off to Guantanamo Bay.
or another prison outside the United States. That's just a lot of effort and a lot of tax dollars, in my opinion. At least China goes, well, let's just not have those rights. Because in the end of the day, America and China are doing the same thing. One's just doing it inside their own country and getting rid of the red tape, and the other country's shipping them outside. So if we put pressure on China to get rid of their human rights abuses, we have to put the same pressure on America. So on the Olympics, on the 8th of the 8th of the 8th, let's just enjoy the Olympic Games. Let's just watch the ceremony and be thankful for China for putting on such a lovely show. Because really, putting on a good show is what government is all about. If we want to use this opportunity to push a big political issue, we should get the negotiations under the way for China to start using forks like the rest of the world. Anyway, there it is. Good.
Now let's have a look at a segment which you should know my thoughts on by now. Race to replace!
Yes, big month April. Let's just have a quick look at how the Clinton and Obama showdown continued.
Clinton won the home of the Liberty Bell, Pennsylvania.
Which leads us to the all-important delegate count.
Clinton was on 1,586 and Obama was on 1,719.
So, Obama still needing delegates to claim that nomination and Hillary Clinton refusing to drop out of the race. And I think it's good that she didn't. Because look at these controversial statements made by Obama in April.
If you got some white friends, they'll be clapping like this, y'all. Their bands hit the field with excellent European precision. Dun, 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 da, 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 da. Now go to a Florida A&M and Grambling band.
Now, I'm not sure if that is Senator Obama. It could be. I find it very hard to tell the difference between people with short haircuts. Anyway, that's either Obama or his former pastor, Reverend Wright. And as far as I'm concerned, anything his former pastor says is as good as Senator Obama saying it himself. So, Senator Obama, you've got to pick up your act and stop saying these controversial things. Now let's have a quick look at the Republican race. This should just be a formality. The states won by Senator John McCain were...
McCain won Pennsylvania.
Which means the delegate count is now...
McCain was on 1,331 and Paul 21.
Unfortunately, it wasn't all smooth sailing for McCain in April. And it was in April that the Nevada convention took place. Now, the Republican leadership decided that instead of giving the delegates to Mitt Romney, who dropped out of the race, to give a predetermined slate of delegates to John McCain, the presumptive nominee. Unfortunately, a lot of the people going to the convention were supporters of the candidate Ron Paul, and they overwhelmingly voted against that resolution, which meant each delegate had to be individually determined, with it looking like 30 of the 33 delegates from the convention would go to Ron Paul. What were the Republican leadership going to do? Well, this is what they did. They walked out of the convention. They said, oh, look at the time, it's too late, and left. Which is fantastic news for John McCain. They can now schedule it at a later date and make sure that there are enough John McCain supporters there to give him all those delegates. Good job, Nevada Republican Party. Democracy in action.
Thanks, Matt. And now let's check out my noble tip.
Follow me, follow me. Now, it's an undebatable issue that dolphins are the best animal in the world. It's fact. Which is why I was so excited to see in April that IMAX had a movie, Dolphins and Whales in 3D. Not excited enough for me to go out and see it. IMAX is a bit of a way.
That's all we have for April. See you next time on The Noble Truth.